I hope you have your speakers on. Hi, this is Dave. One weekend in the summer of 2024, Jill and I went to Toronto, Canada. While we were there, we visited Casa Loma. Casa Loma is essentially a castle in Toronto. It is a gigantic manor with huge stables. Here is a picture of Jill standing in the backyard of Casa Loma. You can see the stone building with turrets, a water fountain, and there were fun places to eat. Here is a picture of Jill standing at the front of the building. This building is spectacular. This picture shows Jill standing above the hall, which is just off of the foyer. If you look at the far wall, you can see pipes for the pipe organ. In this picture, I am standing beside the organ with 4 rows of keys for the hands and a row of keys for the feet. I can imagine the owner of the estate playing this organ just like Nemo in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, or the Phantom in Phantom of the Opera, with the sound coming from the pipes in the hall. In this picture, Jill is standing in the atrium. This is a beautiful place and is perfect if you need an amazing place to host an event, because you can rent Casa Loma for your event. In fact, many movies were filmed at Casa Loma, and you may recognize this atrium as a set in various movies. Here, Jill is standing in the library. You can see the books on the wall. This room was also used in many movies. It is amazing to be in the same room that I recognize from several movies. In this picture, I am standing in the bedroom for the lady of the house. You can see the beautiful 4-post bed and the beautifully decorated dressing screen that she used to get changed. And here I am standing in the man's bedroom, the master bedroom. The 4-post bed is amazing. The other items in the room are also spectacular. In this picture, Jill is standing in the lady of the house's bathroom. This bathroom was on display to show the ancient amenities that she had. And you could see a bidet, a bathtub, and a toilet. Today, tourists have normal bathrooms to use, and this bathroom was only to exhibit the artifacts. The man of the house also had his own bathroom. And here is a picture of me standing in his shower. It was made of marble and brass, and it was amazing. This picture shows Jill in one of the many dining rooms. The intricate woodwork on the sideboard and the chairs is beautiful. And in this picture, Jill is in the guest bedroom. You can see the intricate carvings on the bed at the right side of this picture. There were lots of passageways, especially going up to the towers. Here, I am standing beside a suit of armor in one of these passageways. Casa Loma had secret passages going upstairs, to the vault, to the basement, and to the stables. If during a crisis the people of the house ever had to secretly escape, they could take the secret passage from the second floor to the vault to take their money, and then take the secret passage to the basement where they could use the underground tunnel to the stables to make their secret escape. There was a sign that read, "To continue your tour, please take the secret passageway to the left of the fireplace to the second floor, or the secret passageway to the right of the fireplace to the basement." In this picture, Jill and I are at the top of one of the towers. We could clearly see the CN Tower in the distance, shown with a red arrow. Plus, we could see the Toronto skyline. Here is a picture of Jill on top of one of the towers. You can see another, even higher tower in Casa Loma, but that tower is enclosed indoors with windows. You can also see the Toronto skyline. This was a wonderful view. The stables, or garage, was gigantic. Imagine a large mansion for a wealthy person and then triple it in size, because The stables were 3 times the size of a typical mansion. This picture shows Casa Loma, the house, in white stone, and the stables, or the garage, in red brick. This picture shows Jill standing in front of the stables. You could see the huge red brick building. Here I am standing in the stables. This picture only shows half of the horse stalls, so they could house many horses here. In the stables, there were lots and lots of antique automobiles and a wax museum depicting all of the famous actors who filmed movies at Casa Loma. In this picture, I am standing with 2 antique cars. Here are 2 more antique cars. There were lots and lots of old cars at Casa Loma, and I did not take pictures of them all, but these 2 cars seemed interesting, so I took pictures of them. I imagine that driving these cars would be uncomfortable in the rain or in the winter. Many movies were filmed at Casa Loma, and there was a wax museum depicting the famous actors who made movies there. This is Richard Gere from the movie Chicago, and you could see scenery from the movie in the background. Here I am standing with Mike Myers and Jessica Alba. There were lots and lots of famous actors depicted here because so many movies were filmed at Casa Loma, but I only took these 2 pictures. Casa Loma has a military museum on the top floor. My father was a military historian, and he had an antique gas mask identical to the one on display here. When I was a little boy, I would put on that gas mask and lay underwater in the bathtub with the hose and filter above the water. I had such fond memories from when I was a little child in elementary school that I had to take this picture. If you ever get a chance to visit Toronto, make sure that you go to Casa Loma. This is my favorite place to visit in Toronto. Nobody is sponsoring this video. I genuinely liked this place. Plan on it taking all day to see everything there because it will take a few hours to walk around and there is a lot of walking. Plus, they are constantly adding things to do there. I know that in the future they have plans to turn the grounds into a garden, so there may be even more to see when you visit. Jill and I had a lot of fun there. I hope that you enjoyed this tour through Casa Loma. See you next time.